welcome to Cover Story. This week we'll be discussing the curious case of Rahul Gandhi, who had the spotlight trained on him during the debate in Parliament, whether it was his visit to the JNU or later on when he took on the Prime Minister Narendra Modi retaliated, targeting the Congress Vice President. For this with me, I have a very distinguished panel. I have Shekhar Iyer, political editor of the Deccan Herald, and Neerja Chowdhury, political analyst, and Mr. Ashok Tandon, who is also a lead political analyst. First, of course, I'll begin with you, Shekhar. What did you make of Rahul's, his speech, the way he took on the Prime Minister in Parliament? Suddenly, we've seen him leading from the front after a very long time.
Yeah, I think there is a newfound confidence, and there is some kind of new energy. And overall feeling that with 2 years of this Modi government, that Congress is poised for some kind of recovery, if not immediately in electoral terms, but definitely as the principal opposition party, that it can move forward and it has nothing to lose and only to gain. So that confidence is there, and you can see in his interactions, in his delivery, in his wherever he makes those interjections.
Let me rephrase my question. Rahul has been re-energized for a while now, but the fact is that, post maybe his JNU visit, suddenly people are taking notice of Rahul. Let me put it that way. We have Smriti Irani attacking him, Anurag attacked him, the Prime Minister attacked him. Suddenly, Rahul has become the focus, which is after a long time. People had been kind of ignoring him, not really taking him seriously.
No, that's because, you see, what has happened is, since the last elections, the focus is coming back to the Congress, because the 2 years of BJP government, definitely the focus shifts to the opposition, because for a long time we haven't heard much, much of some kind of Congress trying to regain. Now here is a situation where, though electorally so far the Congress has not been able to bring credit which it can claim for itself, except if a BR where it was part of a group. Now what is happening is, with 2 years of this government, and it's entering the third year, and third year for any government is a very crucial year, because that's the period when you are in that make or mark kind of thing, because 2 years have gone by, your honeymoon period is long over, and from third year onwards to the fifth year when you face elections, that third year gives the opposition also a chance to speak for itself and put itself in the running for the next elections. So therefore, if there is focus on Rahul, because Rahul is playing a very important role in the shaping of way the Congress is shaping now. Of course, Sonia is there at the helm, but it's Rahul. Okay. Whatever internal decisions, whatever is happening within the Congress party, it has a Rahul stamp. Okay. So therefore, there is a lot of focus on Rahul. What is he doing? How is he going to take it forward?
Neerja, would you agree on this whole Rahul focus, and what do you make of this?
When I heard him in Parliament this time, and we had been saying in the days preceding his speech, why didn't he speak on the intolerance debate? He's the one who should have come. There were a lot of murmurs of criticism in the Central Hall of Parliament. And then when he spoke, he was, you felt, this man has arrived. Because he was cool, he was smiling, he was not rattled, he was taking digs very naturally without being abrasive. He'd done his homework, that he started off with this amnesty scheme of the government on black money being fair and lovely, like the suit boot jibe against this government, which caught on. And I thought, my God, this also is a kind of thing which may catch on. So overall, there was an inner confidence that he displayed that day, which had not been seen earlier. You've seen Rahul, his heart is in the right place, he's taken up his shoes that should be taken up, but somewhere you felt there was an absence of a public connect so far. That day was a very different Rahul, I felt, when I heard him in Parliament. Now, of course, as far as the focus on Rahul is concerned, there is simply no one else. We can all be theorizing that why Rahul, why dynasty, but today if there's anybody other than the family taking over, the party may break up. So willy-nilly it has to be a member of the family leading the Congress, and Sonia Gandhi now wants to step back, Priyanka Vadra is not yet ready, so it is all eyes on Rahul. And the other thing that has been striking about Rahul of late has been the flexibility. You remember that there was a time that he talked about the party going solo. Now from all accounts, he is very clear that it is a BJP we've got to demolish. whether or not it's the Congress who leads the government. So he's very happy to shake hands with the other opposition parties, to collaborate with them.
Mr. Tandon, the opposition, the treasury benches, why did they focus so much on Rahul? Was that a sound strategy? Speech after speech, it was attack Rahul, not the Congress president, not the party, but Rahul per se.
After the 2014 elections, the Congress was in a very bad shape, and there was internal debate within the party whether it's time for Rahul to take over, or we should still continue with Sonia Gandhi. Now, a lot of time was lost in this process, and as a result of that, there was vacuum on the opposition benches, and nobody was there to fill that void. And that, was the emergence of people like Kejriwal. And subsequently, when the confusion continued within the Congress ranks, whether to go solo or have alliance with somebody, then we saw the emergence of Nitish Kumar as an alternative in the Indian politics. Now, apparently, I think there is clarity in the party that whether the old guards like it or not, it has to be Rahul Gandhi, and that is what is being seen now. Sonia is intentionally taking a back seat. She is trying to give more and more space to Rahul in the parliament or outside parliament to lead the party from the front, although he still seems to be reluctant. His absence
You're still saying he seems to be reluctant?
No, his absence from the political scene for almost 1 year, yes, I think it cost the party dearly. Now, since apparently the old guards are also reconciled, that whether we like it or not, it has to be Rahul. I think it is too early to judge whether he is actually in a position to take over, or maybe the mantle may go back to the mother. So I think the coming elections in 5 states, I think that will prove a point, because he will be leading the campaign.
Shekhar, would you agree? I mean, because the coming 5 states, the Congress has very little stake really, except maybe in Assam or Kerala. So should Rahul be leading from the front?
He has already taken over the campaign. I mean, in Assam, though it's a very difficult situation, you have had Congress regime for last 15 years,
right,
and you have had the same person as chief minister. So it's by any count, it's not something they can win. But nevertheless, he is in the forefront. He addressed meetings in Silchar yesterday. So I don't think Assam is going to be a great recovery for Congress. But the situation, say, in Kerala. Now, this is the challenge for Rahul. You see, Kerala 6 months ago, people were not willing to actually believe that Kerala will repeat that pattern, where the incumbent government doesn't come back. Kerala presents a challenge for Rahul now. Here, it appeared it was good, but suddenly things have... Now, Tamil Nadu, they have again gone back to the DMK. And already, the ADMK is calling it the 2G alliance. So that's again another issue. I think Rahul's real challenge will not be these elections as much as in the, the big mega battle called Uttar Pradesh. That's where the whole focus is.
But before we go on to the election, Neerja, a lot was debated about Rahul's visit to JNU. Now even Kanhaiya's praised it, and Rahul is reaping the Kanhaiya goodwill, so to speak. Was that a smart move on Rahul's part? Because a lot of his own partymen cautioned him against it.
Some people in the Congress felt that had he opened his gambit in JNU by unequivocally condemning those who made the anti-national slogans, not Kanhaiya Kumar, but whoever it was, whether it was JNUites or others, perhaps he would have been on a stronger wicket. That what he was talking about was opposing dissent, the shrinking of democratic spaces, autonomy of an institution. The things had got mixed up for a while. But with Kanhaiya Kumar's release now, earlier his visits to Hyderabad, which also rattled BJP. The BJP was really worried about the Dalit factor. JNU came in handy to them because nationalism is a card they play more comfortably. It's very natural as a young person for Rahul to reach out to
but Hyderabad and JNU, there's a difference.
JNU, they are different, but they are young people. And I think while nationalism card is being, these so-called anti-national slogans that television channels ran, and now it seems that 3 of those 7 videos were doctored, so we don't know the truth of who raised those. But the young people across India, a large number of them are not very happy with that trend of dissent, anti-government, all this being curbed. and the intolerant quote-unquote debates that are taking place, whereas mainland people feel ऐसे slogans नहीं raise करने चाहिए. So there's a division. Mr. Modi runs the risk of losing the support of younger people who voted for him big time in 2014. That's the point I'm making. Rahul is reaching out to that element across universities. So it made sense. It made sense for him to go to JNU, to Hyderabad.
Is Modi in danger of losing this youth vote to Rahul Gandhi? Has Rahul played his cards right and Modi not so right?
See, Priya, I am still very skeptical about the Congress itself accepting Rahul as their leader for 2019, because still
No,
there's
I don't
internal
think-
debate going on. See, we can't ignore the fact that whatever he does, whether he goes to JNU or he goes to Hyderabad, a section within the Congress questions his motive, his moves, his style of operation. Even on JNU, as Neerja was rightly saying, there was a very fierce debate within the Congress where what word of choice he should have. So therefore, I think it is too early to come to a conclusion that the Congress itself has accepted Rahul as their leader in run-up to 2019. Say the least, as to challenge Modi at this stage. I think in the coming days, a debate will come out in the open about the Congress strategy in West Bengal. Now, aligning with the left, I don't think will be seen by many congressmen as a right move, because after all, Trinamool Congress is traditionally a Congress party. So, against Trinamool, if you are going to join hands with the left front, I think this is where Rahul will have to take a position, because Rahul traditionally has been talking of going solo. And he was overruled by the old guard in a number of occasions. In fact, he also compromised in Bihar. But whether...
But he gained from that compromise, and I think from now on he's...
No, in the long run, I personally feel a national party like Congress cannot afford to play a junior partner's role, because Congress is a historic necessity in this country. And if they go on conceding ground in state after state, playing a junior partner's role, I think that will not augur well for Indian democracy, because here is a party with more than 100 years old history. If they start conceding ground like they did in Tamil Nadu, they have done in so many states. So therefore, I think crucial decision of Congress party in West Bengal will decide whether Rahul's strategy of going alone, whatever may be the consequences, keeping with you the long-term strategy of the Congress, I think that will decide which way the Congress party is going. So I would like to see the Congress, although there are conflicting reports. Some people say they have already decided to go with the left front, but I still doubt. I have a feeling Rahul can take a position on this, that Congress, whatever may be the circumstances or consequences, the Congress should stand up on its feet and go alone in West Bengal and subsequently next year in UP.
Neerja, quickly, you want to come in there?
Yeah, my thing was on this, that Rahul's strategy seems to be to go in for alliances now. They've seen that pay off in Bihar very well. So he's shown that flexibility. DMK in Tamil Nadu is very clear. I think it may happen that they may go with left, and they realize that at 44 Lok Sabha seats, they now need to piggyback with other parties to bounce back. Now, what is very, and in West Bengal, the dilemma is, if you go with left in West Bengal, how do you justify fighting the left in Kerala? That is more the dilemma than anything else. What is very curious is why they did not go with the AJP and allowed the BJP to form an alliance with AJP in Assam, and they are on the back foot. And Nitish Kumar had in early days had a meeting with Praful Mahanta in order to bring this about. Now, obviously Tarun Gogoi did not want it, but it is giving a cakewalk, I think, to BJP in Assam.
So I would like to ask one question to Neerja. If Congress goes on conceding ground to junior partners, what will be the position in 2019? Will they accept the leadership of a person like Nitish Kumar? Will Rahul and Congress have a joint front under Nitish's banner?
But Ashok,
that will reflect on Rahul's leadership in future.
But in the worst case scenario, as things are going, Congress will get, now 4,400, 125 seats. Nitish Kumar may get on his own, 20 seats in Bihar. So, other parties and alliance, then who will be the natural front
Congress by virtue
leader? It will willy-nilly have to be the Congress providing that little leadership.
Okay, on that we need to take a quick break, but stay with us. We're going to come back after a short break. Welcome back to Cover Story. We are discussing Rahul Gandhi and is he in a position to actually now lead the Congress and be a credible leader accepted by his party? Shekhar, will you come in on this? Has Rahul made a dent on the youth vote with his JNU visit and his politics of late?
Well, JNU visit is good optics, but how does it actually convert to youth across the country? Because JNU, I think the kind of disable one has noticed on the television channels and on particularly the English media may not actually translate to what across the nation, because across the nation I think the issues are very varied. Definitely the kind of the way Kanhaiya Lal was portrayed on television channels after his release and his speech running over and over, and way the social media has been reacting, it looks like some big thing has happened. But over the months I think JNU will stand out as one situation, and as Ashokji was mentioning, there are differing views within the Congress, because Congress cannot cede space to the BJP on issues like nationalism and patriotism. They cannot, because that they will have to remain a centrist party. And see, at a time when this JNU thing was happening, at a time when there is a debate about patriotism or ultra-nationalism, look at what's happening in Himachal Pradesh. For Himachal Pradesh, Congress ruled Chief Minister, you have Veerbhadra Singh opposing an India-Pakistan match on the ground that, the local sentiments don't allow it. There is a huge ex-serviceman population in the state, and they feel after Pathankot strikes, they cannot have a match. Though the real reason could be the running battle between Veerbhadra Singh and the Dhumal clan, with Anurag Thakur being the BCCI official. For the Congress, I don't think Rahul visit could have been a good optics, but definitely even Rahul himself would like to, I don't think Rahul would want to straight away say that, look, condemn Veerbhadra Singh. He can't do that. So therefore, it's not an easy, what I would say, positioning that the Congress party can take. Similarly, even the Rohit Vemula in Andhra Pradesh and as well as in Telangana, Dalit politics is a different kettle. So in that kind of scenario, you cannot just take a stand appearing to be just backing the Dalit politics, because Congress cannot let loose of its support among the other communities.
How do you see Neerja Rahul, this public school boy who's always been saying, I don't want to fight on caste, I am Rahul Gandhi, don't ask me my caste, what's with it later on echoed recently. But now he has to walk this caste tightrope, he has to make sure, the JNU visit, please one faction, please another faction. Is he doing a fine act finally?
I think, the main challenge for Rahul is today, all these things will follow. Congress party has been adept at it, doing the tightrope walk, taking everyone along. Over the years, so they have enough people who know how to do this. But the main challenge for Rahul is to emerge as the alternative pole of the polity. You see what is happening if you move around. A lot of people are disappointed with Narendra Modi. He's talking things that they liked it. He raised huge expectation, and people are now saying delivery, is it happening? Why is it not happening? Yet, it is also true that these people have not yet deserted Narendra Modi. They have not given up on him. Because they say, agar jayenge bhi to the other side, who is there the other side? And as I said at the outset, Rahul Gandhi, well-meaning, sincere, has not so far displayed that public connect at public meetings and so on. But if you have a new Rahul coming to the fore, which we saw in Parliament, and giving the feeling that he's shaping up, that he can reach out, then the scene is changing. Then people can turn to and say, there is an alternative. So the BJP strategy naturally is to keep on saying he does not have what it takes. And given that Bhagoda thing, you can grow in years, but you don't grow in maturity. So they keep hammering that very rightly, that any opposition party will try and rubbish you. So this is really what his challenge is.
And Ashokji, I know you're a little skeptical of this Rahul's re-emergence, but of late we've been having lots of debates on Kejriwal, on Nitish Kumar, lots and lots on Modi, but I'm debating Rahul Gandhi after a very long time. So that shows, that means that maybe he is trying to, get his way back into the mainstream, trying to, make relevance. Isn't that a good sign? As you said, you need a viable opposition.
See, they don't have any other option.
Fair enough, but is
See,
Rahul the
because
better option?
as I said, the Congress is a historic necessity in Indian politics. It has to be there. And if it is there, still perhaps the largest political party in the country, they have to project a leader. And now since Sonia, after the 2014 election, Sonia's her own image is still intact. But she wants to give the space to her son. And now it is up to Rahul to grab that opportunity and try to set things right within the party as well as outside. Now, I think he has to a large extent managed things within the party. More or less people are now reconciled, even old guards are reconciled. And from there he has to now come out and go out in the people, reach out to them and try to win back the confidence which the Congress has lost. But don't forget one thing, Priya, that there are regional leaders watching all this scenario. Because in their own states, whether it is Naveen Patnaik, whether it is Nitish Kumar, or for that matter Mulayam Singh Yadav in UP and in other regional parties also, they would not like a Congress to emerge as the single largest party or number 2 party in the election. They would like to force a situation in which Congress is forced to accept a non-Congress prime ministerial candidate. Therefore, the main challenge before Rahul is not only to gain ground within the Congress and the space of the opposition which is there very much for him to grab, but he has to deal with the regional leaders as well. Congress strategy to go alone, which Rahul had propounded in the initial stages, eventually they will have to come back if they really want to project Rahul as an alternative to Narendra Modi.
Now cut it short, but beforehand, Shekhar, one quick word from you. Rahul's speech, what did you think of it? Just one quick one line.
Well, I think it was the best he has delivered hitherto, and it had all the points which would go well with the audience, kind of audience he is targeting, because he managed to speak in a style which was easy, flowing, and he appeared himself to be at ease, which was different from his earlier deliveries. Therefore, I think if the Prime Minister Modi chose to, rebut those points, it only goes to show that he has managed to strike at places where it could hurt the ruling party.
So
that's one good signal or a sign that shows that BJP cannot be easy about Rahul.
On that note, we're going to end this now. Thank you for watching this edition of Cover Story. We'll see you again same time next week.